Back in the book segment tonight, an update on 25-year-old Sergeant Andrew Tamaresi, a Marine who was arrested in Mexico on April 1st after taking a wrong turn on the border. You know the case. Sergeant had 3 weapons in his vehicle, so he's now in prison. The Mexican Attorney General saying he violated their laws. So far, efforts to get the sergeant out of prison have failed. Joining us now from Phoenix is Matt Salmon, congressman who visited the sergeant in prison. What's the latest on this? Is he going to get out or what?
I don't think he's going to get out without the White House getting involved. And yesterday, I met with Vice President Biden, and there were 2 other people with me that made the same plea. Ileana Ros-Lehtinen from Florida, and also Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is actually the mother is a constituent of hers. And we all made an impassioned plea to President Biden to have the White House get directly involved in this and get this young man out.
So what did Biden say? I mean, and you said President Biden is vice president. If he's president, we have a big problem right now.
That was a bad slip.
What did he say to you?
What he said was that he would personally bring it up to the president, that he is concerned as well. And so, you know,
let me stop you. Let me stop you. This has been going on for 3 months. So
this has been, yeah. They haven't done a thing. Okay. And I pointed out, and I pointed out that this young man is an honorable a person that has had 0 questions about his commitment to his country. He actually served 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan. He's a hero, and he needs to be out. He has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I believe that that's part and parcel of one of the reasons that he made the mistake he did in getting into Mexico, and he needs to be out getting his treatment.
Okay.
Now, Darrell Issa, myself, and Ed Royce, the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, are going to be going to Mexico, to the prison again next Saturday, to meet with him, to try to do everything that we can. But I believe,
and I'm glad. But it's, you know, the Obama administration's got to start engaging on some of this stuff.
They have to.
Now, you went down
engage.
there already to see the sergeant. Can you describe the prison? And he says he's being roughed up. Is that true?
Well, the first prison that he was in, I understand, and I didn't visit the first prison that he was in, but the first prison that he was in, I understand the conditions were not very good at all, in fact, pretty bad. And I understand that he was roughed up there. And I also understand that they 4-pointed him for about 30 days while he was in the infirmary. So they have transferred him subsequently to a prison called El Hongo. It is a much nicer prison. When I visited with him, he was in very good spirits. He looked as though he was in good shape and good condition. And I was very, very impressed with him.
Do you know why he had 3 weapons in his car? Do you know
Absolutely.
Why?
Yeah, he had all of his earthly belongings in his car. He had recently moved from Florida to San Diego to start his treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder.
So this was a moving situation, but why? You know, he had been in Mexico earlier in the day, I understand, and then he came back to get his car, and he made a wrong turn. I just want to make sure that when we throw our weight, the factor, you, the vice president, that we really know that this is a trumped-up thing, and he should be out of there. You're 100% convinced, right?
I'm 100% convinced, and I believe that the post-traumatic stress disorder, this kid, you know, he tried to escape when he was placed in the first prison, and that's why they claim they treated him so badly.
Yeah.
But he does not feel comfortable at all when he's thrown in with a bunch of thugs. Now, who would?
That's
this
right.
Kid is suffering.
That's
this
right.
kid is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and they ought to take that into consideration. There is precedent for that. There was a man, an older man in his 80s, that crossed the border about 2-3 months ago with a gun, and he has Alzheimer's. They let him go. They did incarcerate him for a while, but they let him go.
Well,
I believe that this young man should be given the same accord.
Absolutely. And I think the President of the United States and the Vice President have to walk out and tell everybody, that we believe that the sergeant should be released on humanitarian grounds, and then he will be.
Absolutely. The president needs to absolutely. The president needs to call the president of Mexico and say, this is a priority for me. You are our allies.
Right.
We give you a ton of money in foreign aid, and we want to and we have people in Congress that are going to get very, very ugly if this doesn't have a good resolution.
I don't think we even need a threat. I think that the president and the vice president next week have to do this. We'll encourage them here, Congressman, and you know what that means, to do it. and we expect they will. And we appreciate your good work.
They will.
We expect
Thank you.
Thank you.